From skyscrapers that are built in near days to completely 3D printed parks, floating airports, and AR technology that is revolutionizing how we build, China is living in the future while the rest of the world can only watch. The huge construction projects I am about to show you prove that China is 100 years ahead. Huajiang Canyon Bridge. The Huajiang Canyon Bridge posed a significant challenge when it was first planned. The reason? It stood over 2,000 feet above the ground, making it the highest bridge in the world.
This design will break the world record for the highest bridge when it opens to the public, with the previous record held in the same province.
You cannot get normal construction equipment that high up in the mountains, especially the cranes. So the Chinese engineers came up with an innovative solution. With no normal crane being of any use, the engineers instead deployed the world's largest cable crane system ever created. These cranes that ran on cables were used to place trusses in place for the construction, with each truss weighing no less than 21,000 tons. Each piece had to be placed precisely, and to do so, the Chinese engineers used the Internet of Things and the Beidou satellite system to ensure every piece of the bridge fit in perfectly.
And according to the construction team, the bridge is equipped with a neural network of intelligent cable that precisely monitors the main cables.
The whole bridge is an engineering marvel, much like this next project. Mini Sky City. In 2015, China did something amazing. They built a skyscraper not in years, not in months, but in days. 19 days to be exact. The project was called Mini Sky City, and its construction was nothing short of engineering genius at play. The 670 feet tall building was built piece by piece in the short span of just 19 days, and it was made possible thanks to modular construction. Parts of the building were prefabricated, ready to be installed like Lego, and once all the pieces were on site, the whole thing was put together at an impressive pace. It is mind-boggling to watch how a whole building can pop up in such a short amount of time. But China made it possible. Not only that, but the same company that built this is planning on constructing a 220 stories tall building in the same manner. For reference, the Mini Sky City is just 57 stories tall. Their ambition knows no bounds, and this next project proves that even further. Huayanli Shikumen Complex Relocation. What do you do when you need to build something underground and a historic building is in the way? Well, if you are China, you just lift and walk the entire complex away. The authorities wanted to build a subterranean shopping center, parking lot, and subway connections underneath the Huayanli Shikumen complex. Instead of demolishing it to work underneath it, they came up with an innovative solution. Walk the whole complex, quite literally. Using a combination of robotic hydraulic jacks, the entire 8,270 tons heavy complex was lifted up. Then, in a walking motion, the jacks moved, taking the building with them. With the building out of the way, the authorities did the underground work they wanted, after which the entire complex was moved back into place. If you think that was innovative, check this out. Kela Power Station. In China, the Kela Power Station stands proud as one of the most amazing infrastructures ever created. What makes this specific plant so unique? For one, the whole infrastructure is built at extreme heights, with cold weather, strong winds, and the altitude posing extreme challenges. But that's not even the most unique thing about it. This plant is not fully hydro, nor is it fully solar. Rather, it is a mix of both. The 170 million square feet area of the plant contains massive fields of solar panels and hydropower setups working in conjunction to produce 1 gigawatt of electricity, all of it renewable. And the capacity is expected to increase as the project nears its completion. This plant, built through innovation and cutting-edge technology, is the largest hydro PV plant in the world. And to make it atop a mountain where temperatures reach minus 30 degrees? That's just madness mixed in with engineering. Sit tight because this next one will blow your mind. Inflatable construction domes. China has found an interesting solution to the noise and dust pollution that happens on a construction site. Instead of traditional methods that usually don't work, construction companies in China simply inflate an air dome around the whole construction site. The result is a completely isolated exterior that dampens noise from the heavy machinery while also preventing dust and other harmful airborne substances from escaping. All that nasty stuff can be simply filtered out using air filters instead. With techniques like this one, the Chinese have built some amazing stuff, like this next building. Fosun Foundation Cultural Center. This is the Fosun Foundation Cultural Center, and it hides a cool secret that changes the building each time you look. The theater employs a type of building technique called kinetic facades, which are essentially moving parts. But then in the heart of the development, there was also a cultural building called the Fosun Foundation. A big aspect of the project was making a kinetic building. This idea, could you make an architectural curtain? Only the Fosun Foundation Cultural Center does it in a unique manner. The curtains on the outside of the theater move at a slow pace, so slow that you may not notice the waves going by. But each time you look at it, it will seem different, just slightly out of place. Time lapses show how each layer moves to create a beautiful wavy design, changing day and night, so the building never looks the same. Not only that, but these facades also play a key role in the functionality of the building. Depending on the type of event happening, the facades can be moved to reveal or hide the stage on the balcony, the multi-function hall, and to give a view of the river to the east or the buildings in the west. The whole structure is a love letter to art, much like this next building project that broke all limits. AICT 3D Printed Park. Just imagine an entire park spanning a staggering 59,449 square feet, built entirely through 3D printing technology. That's the true marvel of the AICT 3D Printed Park. Every bench, every structure, and every sculpture in this park is made through giant 3D printing machines using concrete as the primary material. And the shapes these machines were able to make are simply gorgeous to look at. The whole park seems like a flowing structure, with wave-like designs employed smoothly blending into each other. Even minute things like the flower beds, the retaining walls, and the curbs here are 3D printed. And here is the kicker. The whole park on such a huge scale was completed in just 2.5 months. Plus, it costs way less than conventional building materials. China has truly embraced 3D printing as an essential construction technique, while the rest of the world is stuck centuries behind. And this next structure just proves that point further. 3D printed pedestrian bridge. Of all things, you wouldn't expect a whole bridge to be built using 3D technology, right? But China has managed to do just that, and not just any bridge. The one they have built in Shanghai, this bridge is nearly 86 feet in length, making it the largest of its kind in the entire world. Made in just 450 hours using 2 robotic arms, the bridge features wave-like facades on its sides, giving it a rather fitting look for its surroundings. The bridge part itself was constructed using 44 hollowed-out concrete units, while the handrails on the sides were made using 66 units. Just like the other 3D structures in China, this bridge took less time and money to make compared to the traditional approaches. But let's move on from this tech and look at something rather astonishing China made only recently. Anji Culture and Art Center. The Anji Culture and Art Center is one of those building designs you wouldn't think is possible, but with the passing day, China is turning this into a reality. The most unique thing about the Anji Culture and Art Center is its proposed roof design. The roof will feature a bamboo leaf design, mixing nature and modern designs into something unique and wonderful. And the way they will be built, it will feel like the roofs are actually floating in the air. Meanwhile, the undulating white metal panels on this roof will give it a gorgeous look. But the wonders don't stop there. This building will feature a unique system that will reuse rainwater for passively cooling the entire structure. That sustainability and practicality mixed together into one wonderful wonder of modern architecture. And did I mention the whole thing will span 1,291,000 square feet? Yeah, it is as insane as it sounds. The structure is expected to finish construction this very year, but that doesn't mean this is the only exciting construction project to look forward to in China. There are also the Phoenix Towers. Phoenix Towers. The Phoenix Towers are a proposed super tall building that China is planning to build in Wuhan. How tall, you ask? The taller of the two proposed structures will be a staggering 3,300 feet. That will put it as the second tallest structure in the entire world. But trust me, that is the least interesting thing about this super skyscraper. There are more amazing things about it than you can count. For instance, the entire structure is going to be built on an island in a lake spanning 7 hectares. And not just that, the true marvel of the buildings will be the energy production systems. The outside of the towers will be covered in solar panels. Plus, the towers will incorporate other green energy technologies, including wind, thermal, biomass boilers, and hydrogen fuel cells. That is some next-level sci-fi stuff right there. To top it all off, one of the towers will have the world's highest garden on top of it. China really knows how to up the ante. I wonder how other countries will react to this, especially Dubai, with its tallest buildings. Sponge City Landscaping. Sponge City Landscaping is a city planning technique that China has been pioneering, and it is absolutely insane how well it works. So basically, China has been dealing with some environmental issues, and their solution is a unique new way of landscaping. They build rain gardens, green roofs, wetlands, sunken gardens, and urban forests, and integrate them into the city's design seamlessly. Why? The reason is simple: for water retention and ecological diversity in the area. It is not like the arid cities we have with sparse, uniform greenery. Rather, these biodiverse environments serve multiple functions. A sponge city landscape promotes environmental health, provides refuge for different species, and acts as a water retention system for refilling depleted aquifers and containing floodwaters. Even the sidewalks are designed especially to let water seep through. And well, it works. The whole sponge city landscaping has been employed in several places in China. Kunli Storm Water Park is a prime example, working both as a park and as a biodiverse greenery center. The same is true for the Lingang Sponge City Zone in Shanghai and the Zhuhai Hengqian Free Trade Zone. The results of all this are flood-resistant cities that have much healthier green areas that serve as temporary water reservoirs. Talk about multifunctional. Dalian Jinzhuan Airport Island. Now you would think other countries have China beat when it comes to airport architecture, but that's certainly not the case, especially with this new airport that China is building in Dalian. Well, not exactly in Dalian, because this airport has something rather unique going on. China is not building this airport on the mainland itself, not even on any of its islands. Rather, they have built up an entire island just for this airport. The construction began all the way back in 2011, and it is on track to be completed this year. So in 2026, once the Dalian Jinzhuan Airport goes into operation, it will be the largest offshore floating airport in the entire world. The whole project is a product of engineering genius, like building an airport out on the sea. That is absolutely insane. But China is about to make it work, and we will get to see it for real soon enough. Then again, China has been at the forefront of innovation for a while now. Take the Yangqiu 3D printed dam project, for example. Yangqiu 3 deep printed dam. The Yangqiu Dam is a 590 feet tall dam China is planning on building in the Tibetan Plateau. Now that may sound normal enough, but wait until you hear the caveats. The whole dam is going to be 3D printed from the ground up. That means using the latest advanced 3D printing construction machines, which work quite similarly to your 3D printer at home. These machines put down the concrete layer by layer, and that's how China is planning to build the whole dam. But that's only half the story. Turns out, all the machines working on the project, like cranes, trucks, and bulldozers, would all be operated by AI. No human operator needed. They will move and work seamlessly, no getting in each other's way, no accidents, and no delays. This dam is not only going to be one of the most innovative builds of our time, but also going to serve as a proof of concept. After all, the whole dam is going to be finished in under 2 years. That is very, very quick compared to normal dam construction methods. If China succeeds, that proves dams and megastructures can be built this way, opening up the doors for many more projects using the same technology. However, these specific projects are not the only advancements that China has made in its construction and architecture industry. There are construction techniques in China becoming a norm that will sound completely futuristic to foreigners. Let's look at some of them. Modular assembly. China has been making major headway in the modular construction technique, as you saw with the mini Sky City building they constructed in just 19 days. But is that all? No. China intends to make this a standard construction procedure in its country. They are pushing hard for it, with companies popping up specializing in modular structures. These can be high-rise buildings, bridges, stadiums, pretty much anything. China has even started making regular homes with modular parts. You can literally order a fully made home that will be taken to your plot of land and put together like Lego pieces or a jigsaw. And here is the best part. There is no real downside to it. The modular homes are less time-consuming to build, they cost less, and they are as sturdy as they need to be. Some of these homes are put together in just a day, and the more complicated ones will be up and functional in a matter of a week or two. And that raises the question, is this the future of construction? The answer is probably. There are just far too many advantages to it. Cool as that is, I think this next construction technique China is pioneering is far more awe-inspiring. Self-climbing formwork. While that may seem like a machine crawling up the building, there is a lot more at work here than that. This is the self-climbing formwork system at work that China uses heavily in its construction process. So, how does it work? Well, a framework is basically like a mold that concrete is poured into to settle. This formwork works similarly, only it can be moved up one story at a time until the whole building is completed. The mechanism behind that is usually hydraulics. It functions like a giant robot, climbing and building simultaneously. This way, the workers can create a whole story of the building in one go and then move on to the next, speeding up the process massively. But there is one limitation. This system is only suitable for structures with a repeating layout, which usually isn't a problem for residential buildings. Regardless, it is amazing to see how amazing human ingenuity can be when we can come up with systems like this one. Speaking of amazing construction techniques, check out this one. Super high-speed rail track laying. In China, you don't need any humans to lay tracks for your trains. A machine does it for you. China has developed a system they are calling super high-speed rail track laying, and how it works is amazing. Let me explain. China has a robust high-speed rail system that they are always expanding, and these are the machines that make that possible. It includes rail sorters, push roller recovery vehicles, and tractors, all working in conjunction and controlled by AI. These massive machines carry all the components needed. They automatically place down the ballasts, the spikes, and the rails themselves. The human intervention in the process is minimal, and the results are extraordinary. With 90% of the process automated, the tracks are laid down at an incredible rate. A speed of 2 kilometers of track per day had already been achieved, and China is working on something even crazier. They are developing a system where the whole process will be automated and will work all day, all night, achieving even greater speeds. Just how far will China go? Well, if you think that's impressive, let me show you how they dig their tunnels. Tunnel boring machine. Boring machines are used around the world to dig tunnels. But there is a reason why China is so ahead of the game, because the cutting-edge boring machines they produce are truly amazing. Here is why. First of all, the size. The boring machines that China makes and utilizes in its construction projects are massive. They are hundreds of feet in size, capable of boring multi-lane expressways worth of tunnels in one go. The only real rival is America's Bertha. But size isn't the only thing. China makes its boring machine in accordance with the tough terrain in the region. These beasts can survive the harshest conditions underground and keep working efficiently. Plus, many of China's tunnel boring machines are modular, making it easy to transport them. And using artificial intelligence, these machines reach a whole new level of efficiency that puts the world to shame. China has perfected tunnel boring while the world has lagged behind. If you don't believe me, here is another tech in which China is so far ahead, it's mind-blowing. Drone-assisted material transport. China has truly embraced drone technology. They've integrated it into daily operations. For instance, Chinese farmers are using drones to move their harvest in the mountains. The firefighters in China are using drones to put out fires. But the most interesting usage has been in the construction industry. Recently, videos have emerged of companies using drones to transport construction materials like solar panels through rough terrain. It's faster, it's cheaper, and it's efficient. But that's not it. China has designed drones specially for lifting heavy loads up to great heights. While there is a limit to how much they can carry, their speed and efficiency make up for it. One unique way China used its drones in construction was while building a bridge in southwest China. Drones were used to connect cables between two parts of the bridge without needing complex systems or putting human lives in harm's way. How innovative is that? Rotating bridge deck construction. Constructing bridges is China's passion, it seems. But while other countries block off roads while constructing a bridge over them, China has perfected the art of constructing without it being a hassle for the public. Instead of closing up a bridge, China does something amazing. They built the bridge on the side instead, completely out of the road's way. And once the bridge is finished, they rotate it. How? The answer is hydraulics. The bridge parts, fully constructed, are rotated using hydraulics until they line up perfectly with each other. Everything is connected, and the bridge is good to go. The road underneath does not get shut off for even a second. We have seen some marvelous construction techniques from China. But how does China deal with the most basic parts of construction, like bricklaying? Let's find out. Robotic bricklaying systems. AI has allowed for some useful inventions, and this bricklaying robot is one of them. China has been making these and using them on construction sites for a while now. The benefit? These robots work fast, don't need brakes, and are so precise that you won't find one brick out of place. With these tools, China has been able to boost work efficiency tenfold. Not to mention how these robots don't require other machinery and tools to get their job done. They truly spell innovation like no other. But only bricklaying isn't enough. There is another Chinese invention that goes along with this. Robotic plastering. China has even automated the plastering process. They have developed robots that can cement a wall smoothly in minutes. Plus, they can level everything off with unmatched precision. The technology has come very far, but it is still not at the point of replacing human workers completely. From the looks of it, however, China will probably be the first country to have completely automated construction sites working without a human in sight. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, let's move on to a construction material that is revolutionizing how we build. Self-healing concrete. Self-healing concrete is an invention that has taken the world by storm, and China is no exception. Think of this material as a miracle concrete mix that, when cracked, simply repairs itself. No outside intervention needed. But how is that even possible? Well, this concrete contains a type of bacteria that produces calcium carbonate, and when a crack forms, the bacteria generate calcium carbonate to seal the cracks. This type of concrete has proven extremely useful. The extra durability and increased lifespan mean that buildings can be made safer and longer lasting than ever before. One of the best examples of its usage is in the Fenghai Highway in China. The asphalt on the highway has self-healing properties, preventing potholes from opening up, reducing the cost and labor needed for maintenance. China is also using self-healing concrete in making pavements, bridges, and buildings. With that, we are done for today. Do you think China is living in the future? What are your thoughts on these construction projects? Let me know your theories in the comments down below.